time to start the show. Come out.
Katrina, I'm right here.
How have you been?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
I know. I'm ready. Hey, welcome to Coming Out with Michelle March. We're looking for Michelle March. We don't know where she is. No, I'm actually Michelle March. I know that's a stupid joke, but somebody had to do it. We are here to show you LGBT life. LGBT is lesbian, gay, bisexual, and we're also with the QQ, with the queer and questioning. I think that people are starting to accept us a little bit more because people are starting to come out now. And that's really helping because we're your neighbors. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. Look under your bed tonight. One of us might be there. So for this half hour, you'll be with us. And a lot of times we see stereotypes on TV, like Jack, which will be there, who will be there in a minute. Or, yes. And even like people like Leah Delaria, who is also one of our people on Orange is the New Black. We see a lot of stereotypes and stuff, and we don't get to see a lot of just regular people all the time. And so, little by little, we're getting more accepted. Inch by inch, that's the men getting more accepted because we are coming out. So, and doesn't everybody just want to be themselves? I mean, we do. We want to be ourselves. Don't answer that. It's a rhetorical question, but that's because I'm only here right now by myself. And we just don't want to have any more secrets. It's just better. Secrets hurt you. They kill you. They rip your soul into little pieces. And that's not good. Then we do crazy things like commit suicide, start drinking, doing drugs, and sometimes we start marrying straight people, maybe you. So you don't really want that, do you? Let's see, homophobia is a little bit like racism. It's very hard to explain, but it's a little bit like racism, but it happens in your own family, okay? So it's like your family is the KKK and your dad is the Grand Wizard, and sometimes they kick your ass out of the house, and it's really scary, or they beat you up. And so that's no fun at all. We have a lot of teens committing suicide. We have a lot of teens homeless on the streets. And we really don't want that. We're going to be talking about a lot of different issues that affect the LGBT community, and that's on this show, our new show called Coming Out with Michelle March. And again, I'm Michelle March. Who is Michelle March, right? I'm a middle school teacher, and right there, that just gave me like the PTSD. LAUSD gave me the PTSD, FML, LOL, And just telling it like it is. And yeah, middle school is a crazy time. That's when a lot of kids are coming out to themselves and they're starting to feel, these feelings inside for, other students that they see, and they don't even know what to do with that. A lot of kids are made fun of at that time, get their butts kicked, or they're trying to hide themselves, and none of that is healthy. I think part of the reason is because they changed the name from for junior high to middle school. Who wants to be in the middle? Who wants to be the middle child? You're not the boss, you're not the baby. Middle school's wrong. It should have been junior high. That was cool. It sounded good then, Let's see what else we have for you. I'm half Latin and half white and half black. I'm also not very good at math. No, I'm actually half Latin and half white. And my good friend Katrina, the producer, is half Asian and half black. So we have it covered around here. She's straight. I'm gay. She has kids. I don't. I have dogs. A lot of gay people have pets instead. But a lot of gay people are now starting to have children too. And that's fine. That's great, except they can never go out anymore. So when I call them up, they never can go out because they got to stay home with the kids like straight people now. That's fine. But I would like them to come out sometimes. We're telling all the secrets today. I'm telling all my secrets today. I will have no secrets left, okay? I am 47 years old. Okay, shut up. I'm 48. No, the truth is I'm 50. I am 50 years old. Did you know that, Katrina? Anyway, I am 50. And women, they don't even want women to say their age anymore. Like, people are afraid of saying what they are. Just say it. We're coming out on this program, okay? We're going to be coming out in all kinds of ways. I'm 60 pounds overweight, too, right? That's what the doctor says. You know what? F that doctor. No, it's all good. He's right. He's right. I got to lose it. I got to take care of myself, right? We all got to take care of ourselves. We don't care. I'm going to show some of this meat that I need to get rid of on the next program. So make sure you stay tuned in because we're all in this together. We want to stay alive. We want to help people stay alive. Okay? And yes, I am a lesbian. If you would have asked me a while back, I would never believe that I would be saying this on TV. Okay, never in a million years. I did not want to be gay. That was the last thing. When people say people choose being gay, what, are you kidding? We're going to choose a lifestyle that's people are out to get us, and everybody criticizes us all the time and says that we chose something that we didn't choose. I chose to try to be straight, and for a long time I prayed to be straight. I would hold hands at church. I was holding hands with this guy, and I'd just be like, well, his hand isn't that bad. It ain't that bad. It's all right, maybe I'll get used to, like him, and it's just not like that, So yeah, it was really hard for me coming out, when I started feeling those attractions for girls instead of boys, it was hard, and it's hard for everyone. That's the thing we want to talk about is it's still even at this age, 2014, it's still very hard for people to come out at any age, because we really need the support. We were lied to, we were lied to about a lot of things, and it's very important. That's what we want to talk about. I'm also a Los Angeles-based comedian because that's the place where I can go and tell my truth. I can be myself, and I can get free drinks. That works for me, So we are about to go to our next segment, which is the news. So I would say let's go to that. Welcome back to Coming Out with Michelle March. I'm Michelle March. There's a few things in the news that I want to talk to you about that usually we don't hear too often on the regular news, so we're going to bring this to you. I thought this was kind of interesting. I heard that on this cartoon called Clarence, they had planned to have two male characters exchange flowers and kiss. Just a small little kiss, to show that they're a couple. And they pulled it. They pulled it and they did something else. And I was just thinking, what's the big deal? Like two cartoon characters kissing? I mean, you change the channel and you see people's heads getting shot off and some woman being stabbed or something, but that's all great. But we can't have two cartoon characters kiss? What the heck? What's going on? It's cartoons. It's a big deal. A lot of these cartoons are for adults anyway. And if it was for kids, I don't understand what are we showing kids that we think are okay, but having, a Homer kiss somebody, a Homer kiss the guy that works at the 7-Eleven, big deal, Another thing I want to talk to you about, and we're not even going to mention their parents, but this young man, beautiful little child, 8 years old, his name is Gabriel Hernandez, and he is 8 years old, 8-year-old boy. Everybody should imagine right now what a little boy, little girl about that age is, right? Playing with their toys and everything. This little Gabriel Hernandez, he liked to play with dolls. That's it. He liked to play with dolls. It wasn't like he was getting guns and shooting people or beating people up in the neighborhood or acting up. All he did was play with dolls. And his parents tortured him. They shot him with BB guns. They made him eat his own vomit. They did all kinds they tortured this poor child and they killed him. And the parents now are in jail for life. They did, without the possibility of parole, they did not get the death penalty. But I don't even care about hearing their names. I just want to put little Gabriel Hernandez's name on there. That's who we want to remember, Gabriel Hernandez, not his parents. And to anybody out there who is struggling with seeing their child maybe not playing with the toys that you would like them to play with, or maybe not being the best football player, or being a little tomboy like I was when I was little, that's your child. All we're saying is love that child, love that child, love that child. The other thing is, if you're a parent and you need some help with this, you can contact us here at Coming Out. Contact us here at Coming Out with Michelle March, and we will get some information to you. If you are a kid and you are watching this right now, we love you. We love you. We're there for you, and we're going to figure out a way to get you help. Okay, in a minute, you're going to see this fantastic video.
Pretty. 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 princess in distress. I'm pretty fucking powerful and ready for success. So what is more offensive? A little girl saying fuck or the fucking on equal and sexist way? Society treats girls and women. It's our future. So listen up, grown-ups. Here's some words more fucked up than the word fuck. Pay inequality. Women are paid 23% less than men for the exact same fucking work. And women who graduate university with straight A's get paid as much as men who only got C's. So bad grades equal more bank just because you're a boy? Hello and hell no. Pay up, motherfucker. I shouldn't need a penis to get paid. Rape and violence. Fucked up fact. 1 out of every 5 women will be sexually assaulted or raped by a man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one of us will it be? So how many more women have to get knocked down before society stands up and stops it? Here's a hot tip. Stop telling girls how to dress and start teaching boys not to fucking rape.
Could they let those little girls use the F word? What is that? You know, that's not right. Well, there's a lot of things that aren't right either, right? How about kidnapping little girls and stuff and all the things that happen to them because we're teaching little girls to be silent and we're teaching little boys to be silent? No, we need to teach little boys and little girls to speak up. And if something happened that their parents are just trying to shock people into using the F word so that people watch, if they didn't use the F word, we would have just buzzed right through that. We would have just spun that on our phone and not even paid attention. So, you know, that's fine. Another news story that we have right now is that a man that's up for, his name is Anthony Culler, he is up for a congressional seat in South Carolina. He has called gay people gremlins, okay? Yeah, like the movie Gremlins, right? Because of all the different things that have been happening right now in the news, right? And that's always been that way. It's been Jerry Falwell. It's been many people have said, oh, 9/11, it's because gay people did something. Oh, Hurricane Katrina, it's because of gay people did something. They always blame us. If you want to call me a gremlin, great. I loved that movie. 80s movie, it's a classic. Maguire, light, no light, bright light. I love it, okay? It's fine with me. And also, our next news item is about gay marriage. So gay marriage has been passing like crazy now, right? I mean, you know, we started off with Massachusetts about 10, 11 years ago. They were the first state. And we've been going 1, 2, 3 at a time. Now we're up to about 30, 33. Gosh, I don't know. They could have been adding one right now. Who knows? But we're going to have this beautiful map back here. And it's pretty much the same as a lot of times what Republicans and Democrats are split into sometimes. But there's always Iowa, who surprised everybody with one of the first states to pass gay marriage. We know that down here in the area of California and all the western states that gay marriage has passed all over the place. Up in the eastern states also, we know that has passed. And then, of course, we've always had a little bit of problem down here at the southern states. And we've also had problems with racism, gay issues, and all those kind of things with these states too. And there are a lot of great people living over there who are having problems themselves, you know, and we feel for them, you know. A lot of them are moving this way, and that's why the 405 is crowded all the time. And we thank you for that and and for looking at our fantastic map that we have here. Going back, I think that's about it for our segment on the news. We have one more segment coming up, which is going to be an interview with a local comedian named Heather Turman. And she is also of the LGBT community and has a lot to say about her coming out story. Thanks so much. We'll be right back.
You guys going to my party on Friday?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy.
All right.
What's up, dude?
I'm loving your jacket. Don't be such a fag.
If you don't mean it, why say it? Words hurt. Think before you speak.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Here we are with Heather Turman, who I promised, our wonderful guest, is a comedian and a good friend, and is going to talk to us a little bit about coming out and all kinds of great things. So, hey Heather, welcome!
Hey, thank
Yay.
you for having me, Michelle.
I'm so glad you're here. I wanted you to be on the show because I know a little bit about your life and everything, and you are such a good person to talk to. I think a lot of people need to hear our stories. And I think your story is, very interesting. And,
Thank you.
And you're a very interesting person, and she's so cute. What can I say? Yeah, I just wanted to know a little bit, like, how did you feel like coming out to yourself? Like, how was it, like, when you first noticed, hey, maybe I like girls.
It's all kind of blurry for me because. Kind of at the back of my head, I always said to myself, I wonder when I'll know for sure. Like I always felt like, or there were times where I thought in the back of my head, I wonder when I'll admit it to myself. And I think that that's a very weird thing because it's a conscious thought, but then I was still kind of, obviously not wanting to accept it.
Yeah. And what was making you not want to accept it? What was that?
I don't know what that was. I think it was just being unsure. There was no gay people where I was from. I just didn't really understand it. But I remember when Ellen DeGeneres came out, I don't know why, I was very drawn to her story and and obviously I was looking in some way for some sort of, guidance, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that was actually a very important time. That's the time that I came out. I came out in 1997.
Okay.
And I came out to my mom at that time. And it was a big time, and a lot of people were getting together to watch those episodes. It was a very important time, I think, for the LGBT community.
Absolutely.
And it was drawing people to watch from their houses or with friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I was wondering, when was your first crush? Like, who was your first crush on that you noticed that you kind of like?
Did I notice?
Yeah, like when you were a kid.
Well, so I think you heard me say it the other night at the comedy show, but I did, have this teacher in 7th grade.
Oh, teachers.
And I don't know why, but it's like I didn't have the vocabulary to know what that was, but I knew I wanted her to like me, and I think I remembered kissing a pillow, wishing it was her. You know what I mean?
God.
And then
oh, that's cute.
It's just ridiculous. And now I told you I found my 7th grade yearbook, and I'd written "cool" next to her name.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
I think that's so cute, and it's very normal too. I think people, when they talk to straight people and everything too, they've had crushes on teachers.
Yeah.
Boys and girls. That's how it is. I'm trying to think of I had a 6th grade teacher. Ooh, she was hot. I won't say her name right now. Are we allowed to say names? Whatever. Her name's Mrs. Acosta, and if you want to cut that out, you can. It's probably the beginning of me liking Latin women.
Oh.
But she was very nice in the upper area.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. That's why I don't think guys and stuff. We can't get too mad at them. It's attractive. What can you say?
What can you say? There's nothing. Yeah, you're attracted to somebody who's attractive.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And you don't know what's going on. You're in 6th grade or something. I had no idea, and I was a little bit jealous of the teacher's pet that used to hang out with her. So I think jealousy is the first word.
It is. Learning that you want them to like you, and when you see them giving attention to somebody else, you get jealous.
You get jealous.
Yeah.
It's one of the first negative feelings, I think. Well, not one of the first, but that we start. What leads into understanding that I think I have a crush.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know there's other negative feelings too that go with it. Sometimes it's the stuff from society or church, depending on or parents, depending on where you know, where you're coming from and,
Right.
and you know, that kind of thing. But I was just wondering, so how was it when you, like, who was the first person you ever told, like, I'm gay?
Well, it was kind of weird. I think I'm actually kind of, I feel like it was simultaneously 3 people, but I can't.
Like,
it
who
was
did you
all
trust?
Within a very,
You knew you wanted to
I mean,
say
my
somebody.
childhood best friend Vanessa, we went on a hike at Runyon Canyon, and I told her, like, you know, I have kind of always questioned this, and now I'm, you know, have this huge crush on this girl, and I'm just really sad because she has a fiance, and I can't stop thinking about it, and so I think that I'm struggling with same-sex attraction. And she was like, thank God. She's like, me and my dad always joke about how you're so gay. That's pretty much what she said.
So they basically knew before you did.
Yeah, and then a couple other people said that to me too, which, but just the ones who really knew me really well, or
Yeah.
that they weren't surprised or whatever. But
Yeah. And how was it coming out to, like, parents, friends, and then in public?
Well, my family, it was really weird because my sister, right away, she was like, I know what you're going to tell me, is like what she said. And we kind of talked about how my parents would react, and we were like, yeah, mom won't be that great, but she'll get over it. And so the storm that came when I told her, it was just absolutely insane. I mean, I probably told her in the wrong way. I told her over the phone, 3,000 miles away is never a good, and like she was sitting down to do a puzzle. Like looking back, I'm like, that's like the most relaxing activity. And I called her and gave her the worst news of her life. But that's the thing, it shouldn't be the worst news, you know what I mean? But to her it was. So
Yeah.
she still is not okay at all.
And how many years has it been?
This was in 2008, so it's been almost 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
your
at
dad?
that time, I'd been in a relationship for almost a year when I told her. So
Yeah. And how about with your dad?
he's told me he was disappointed, that he still loves me unconditionally, that kind of thing. And he actually met my fiance a couple weeks ago when I was in Michigan, and
That's
it was really weird.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
So is it kind of, they think it's still like your choice? Is that
My
the
mom
problem?
is adamant. She thinks that I moved to California and got like persuaded because I had gay friends. I got like persuaded into being gay.
Like, ooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
she
scary
is.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about being a comic? Like, how was it coming out in public on stage?
It felt, actually, you know what? I can't believe I did this. It wasn't my friend Vanessa. The first person that I told was gay was Nick Musmechi, who you know from Karma. And when I first told him, because this had a lot to do with when I started comedy, it was like my world changed. Like, a huge weight off my shoulders. And so I suddenly was like, I've always written and done, improv or sketch, like, I want to try stand-up. And so coming out to my mom was kind of my first bit. And it was just really therapeutic, and it felt very great. It felt like who I should be. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that's what happens is
It
like,
is.
well, sometimes like, okay, to throw this out there, sometimes like people get upset when guy comics talk about their dick all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's who they're always seeing. They're always seeing that little friend
Yeah.
all the time. And they talk about it all the time because they're with it all the time. It doesn't leave, And so when we're going through these big changes, breakups, love affairs, coming out, that's what we're going to talk about on stage.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's
absolutely.
totally natural to do that. So
Absolutely.
I'm very interested in how LGBT people get along at work, like either, your first jobs or, being in the community or, you know what I mean? Like going places, being a regular human being.
It's interesting because I work in, aside from doing comedy, I always made my living serving or bartending, like at a restaurant. And coming out at those places, like the current restaurant that I bartend at, it's whenever you get a new job, it's like you kind of have to re-establish yourself as like the, restaurant lesbian. And I have to, so there is that where I feel like I constantly have to like let people know.
Is there a little bit of fear doing that, or like wondering how they're going to take it, or are you
It's
usually
just such a big part of your personality,
Right.
because it's like if a guy comes to hit it, because I do definitely like I know I don't like look stereotypically gay, so a lot of I just feel like I have to let people know right away in a certain in a certain way. But then at the same time, there are like regular clients that still don't have any idea, who have said outright homophobic things to me. And I think to myself, you don't have any idea who you're talking to.
Any idea.
You know, so
Right.
there's that. And then there's those coworkers who, like the girls, there's been girls who suddenly get curious.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, Heather,
Like,
you know,
what's it
she's
like?
kind of cute.
Yeah.
I've noticed you're kind of cute, you
Yeah.
know. Da, da, da.
What's
My
it
boyfriend's
like?
not around right now.
I know.
No.
What's it like with a girl? And I'm always like, better. That's what I tell them.
And so in your comedy, like, what were some of the jokes that, like, how did the jokes come out when you were coming out? Like, what was your creative process during
Was
that time?
almost verbatim just what my mom was saying to me. The names she called me, I thought to myself, I mean, number one, it was just like a treasure chest. Those of material.
You can go ahead and tell us if
comedic.
you want,
Well,
but-
it's Lezo B is what she calls me, and I have a joke about that. I mean,
Yeah.
we all know the word Lezo is like she's the only one who's ever
Yeah, that's
used it.
shocking, yeah.
It's like weird. And then she calls me like a sea liquor, but she says
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah.
So-
I know that's pretty surprising to have that from a parent
From
or
a parent,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, I feel like the only way I could get through that was comedy, honestly.
Comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
Comedy has, I think, saved our lives in a lot of
Oh,
ways.
absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
And what has all, like, your mother, your parents, being gay in general, anything? What has that done for you in a growth kind of way?
I mean, I feel just a lot stronger having gone through kind of like this, you know, I used to be the favorite kid, now I'm like the black sheep of the family in a way, but at the same time, I feel really strong, I'm really self-sufficient, I feel like I know what kind of people I want to surround myself with, I feel like I know what unconditional love is, and I know how to give it, and I know now how I want to receive it, and you know, it's
And
just...
you're getting that from people in your life now, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I have wonderful friends, and people who are my chosen family are the best family could have ever imagined. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's so good. Well, it was so great talking to you.
Thank you,
And
Michelle.
thanks again for being here.
Of course.
On Coming Out. Yeah.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Ready or not, here I come.
Take time to be a dad today.
Daddy, I'm gonna find you.
Welcome to Coming Out with Michelle March. And I was just thinking, I'm asking all these people to come out on the show every episode, and I haven't even come out. I haven't even come out to you. So I figure I would tell you my story. So, okay, where will I start? I'm gay, hey, woo! I was, when I was little, you know, it's funny, like people always think that little tomboys, you know, sometimes they go the gay way, or, you know, little boys that are kind of feminine. And you know what? It happens just like that sometimes. I doubt if anybody can blame a little kid in which way they're going, because it's just a natural thing. It's usually somebody that tries to stop you from being yourself that makes you think, ooh, am I doing something bad? Am I doing something wrong? I just have a crush on my friend, or something like that, you know? So I was always a tomboy, running around. I like to play with boys' toys all the time. If you gave me a dress for a present, I would automatically think that you hated me, and that you didn't know me at all. You know, somebody gave me a doll, like, you don't know me. You don't know who I am. And that was okay, but it was odd, right? Because all the girls love playing with all that stuff. And I'm not saying that girls that are tomboys and stuff, many of them are straight. Just happens that that's how it was with me. And but I still got all of the messages from society, from church, from families, just public, that having those kind of feelings were not good or not normal. When I was growing up, we were very much in the church, going to the church and stuff like that, and so I don't know, it must have just come in that way, hell, brimstone, fire, I don't know how to say it. But I can tell you when I was little, probably in third grade, I had a crush on a girl. She was the fastest runner in third grade. That's all I remember. She had long, dark hair, Latin. That's probably why I still like Latin girls today. And she was the fastest running girl, and I was the second fastest running girl. And I could have been a contender, but I just had a crush on her. We would just run and play tag and stuff, and I liked her. And then I had crushes on some boys and girls growing up. About 6th grade, I had a crush on a teacher. I stared at her. I just thought she was wow, she's amazing looking, and she just fit in that sweater all nice and everything. And now I know why kids can't concentrate in school sometimes. Sometimes they have a hot teacher and you just can't help it. I know because I'm a teacher. There's probably kids that were looking at me, and I don't know, that's weird. But but it's so normal. The truth is it's really normal. And 7th grade, I don't remember if I had a crush on a teacher. I know I did in 6th. But it went like that, growing up. And I did have a boyfriend in 9th grade. And I think that made me always come up, even in later years, it made me think, oh, maybe I can be straight. Maybe I can, maybe somehow God will make a miracle or something. And because I didn't want that. I didn't want to be gay. That's not my plan. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to marry a man and have 15 children and just be like everybody else. Everybody wants to be a little bit different, but not that many people want to be totally different, okay? Even all the punkers who say that they want to hang out with people, they, be different. They, they have their mohawks and their cool clothes and all that stuff, but they still hang out with other punkers, you know what I mean? So it's not like somebody wants to just be all by themselves, and nobody wants to be picked on, that's for sure. I was a pretty tough little girl, so even wearing my little Catholic school uniform, so if anybody messed with me, I would just sock him in the stomach. Bam, just like that, and they would never mess with me again. Or I'd get them in that bone right here, that collarbone, that hurts, okay? But I just give them a little poke in that bone, don't mess with me, and it usually worked fine. So I didn't get really bullied very much for any of those kind of things, and I didn't really tell anybody that I had any crushes on any girls. It wasn't really even really known to me until much later. When I had a girlfriend in high school, my best friend, everybody seems like a lot of people fall in love with their best friend, and that's what happened to me. I fell in love with my best friend, and that just gave me so much turmoil. I had so much, just this inner, just fighting of it. I did not want what was happening. I didn't like my feelings. She was 2 years younger than me, and she was going to go to a dance with the cutest boy from the class right below her. And she went to this dance, and I was so jealous. I wanted her to come and tell me all about it. So did you kiss him? What happened? And I was noticing these jealous feelings, and I didn't even know what was happening to me. It was so upsetting because of the things I heard. I did not know any gay people at that time. Not at all. We made fun of people sometimes who we thought were gay. And I think that was probably me trying to protect myself. I think I really understand, all the things that go on now with people, with bullies in some ways, who try to get that gay thing away from them, even though they may be gay. They're trying to get that away from just for survival. And the way that we treat bullies in school, that's not working. That's not going to work, is to tell some kid, hey, you can't act like that or whatever. Those kids are going through things too. When it was really hard coming out to my mother, I told, for 4 months, I went to the Gay and Lesbian Center to their coming out group to try to figure out how am I going to tell my mom. My mom's a very spiritual woman, you know, she was a church-going woman, and she loved me so much. And even though she loved me so much, there was something inside of me that was kind of like, I don't know, maybe she will disown me. Like maybe she won't love me. Maybe she'll leave me, you know, because of the church or because of her belief in God and all that stuff. And I believe too. So it was just really hard. And I swore I would tell her in a January. Like January came, it was like maybe like 97 or 98. I wanted to come out in January, I couldn't do it. I wanted to come out in February, couldn't do it. It went all the way March, April. It just kept going all the way till May. And I told her on Cinco de Mayo, which is so weird. We're not even Mexican, you know what I mean? So we told her that, you know, I told her, you know, Mom, why don't you come over and like, you know, hang out and stuff. And so she came and she sat on my couch, and I told her, why don't you just wait here? And I wrote this letter to her. I thought that was going to be the only way I could tell her, was to write it to her. I thought maybe I'll write it to her. She can have her own feelings, read it, and then I would just go upstairs and wait till she was done and call me down. So I gave her, you know, I go, Mom, you know, my mom's from, she's from South America, so she has a heavy accent. I'm half Latin and half white. So I told my mom, you know, Mommy, I'm giving you this letter, and it's serious, okay? I want you to sit down and just get ready, all right? And she's like, okay. And my mom's always nice, so she's like, okay. I go, Mom, it's serious, okay? It's serious, just wait. And she's like, okay, you know? And so I went upstairs and I just sat on the bed and I was just freaking out, like, you know, waiting for her to call me down. And very quickly, she called me down. Halfway down the stairs, my mom said, I will always love you. She goes, Michelle, I will always love you no matter what. And I started crying, and I sat down with her, and she started crying, and I told her all about my love life. Like I told her about my girlfriends that she never knew about. She had no idea. And she went through her own, you know, dark night of the soul kind of thing because of church. I remember she cried to me for a second, going like, I don't know what to do because, you know, I feel like I'm turning my back on God or something like that. And I know a lot of people believe that, you know, a lot of people feel that way and they feel like they have to choose. I've lost friends and I've gained a lot of other friends too. And what I've noticed about coming out is that when we keep coming out to people, we actually are giving people a chance to really love us. If they say that they love us and they don't really know us, right? Then is that really love? I don't think so. So I found out that my mom really actually does love me for exactly who I am, and that's like an amazing thing. The other thing is, I forgot, but that's the main thing. Yeah, that was just it was a really hard time. When I go back and think of it, it was a miracle that I could get through all that stuff. And there was just a lot of things. Every time you come out to, when we were talking about coming out in general, every time people come out to a friend or a family member, it's always scary. I think it's always scary. I think people still are afraid, and people still reject you, even in your own family and friends. And they think that we've chosen this. Like, nobody chose this. I mean, I can tell you that straight out for everybody. Nobody chose this. Okay, this was just how we were made and what our DNA is or whatever it is, and that's how it came out. And I have crushes on girls. I don't like boys at all. I've gone out with a few different guys in college, and I thought, oh my God, this guy would be perfect for me. He was gorgeous. All these gorgeous men, you know, gorgeous guys, and they were fantastic. And you know, college baseball players and, you know, just like the coolest, hottest dude, the drummer dude, woo, with the curly blonde hair and the blue sparkling eyes and stuff. This other guy, like super funny and good looking and smart, went to law school. Like, I could have went out with guys that were much better for me than the women I dated. You know what I mean? I've dated women that drove me insane, okay? Drove me absolutely insane. One girl before, she told me, hey, Michelle, you know, do I need a jacket? Should I bring a jacket? You know? And I was like, I don't know. I don't even know how to dress myself, obviously, right? And she's like, well, if I'm cold, then it's your fault, okay? And then one time I took her to the beach, and we went to Santa Monica, right? And there was like some tar on the sand and stuff, and she stepped in tar. Okay, she stepped in tar. How it turned into my fault, I have no idea. Okay, no idea at all. What she said to me was like, "Oh my God, I stepped in tar. This is your fault." And I was like, what am I, like BP or something? Like I was like taking off all the oil off her foot like a baby duck, and I just go back and I think about, wow, all these guys that liked me, they were so cool, they were so nice, they were fun and funny and stuff. But you know what? You can't be attracted to somebody by making yourself be attracted to somebody, because I would have already been married and had those 15 kids. You know what I mean? So that's just how it is. One of the other things I wanted to bring up very quickly is that there's been science that proves that in the natural, animal kingdom, that animals fall in love, if you want to call it that way, and are attracted to same-sex animal. They've had dolphins, they've had penguins, they've had, all kinds of different animals. Some stay together for life. Others probably fool around like some of the people that we know. But that science was blocked and hidden for many years because people did not want us to know. They did not want us to know, and they did not want the scientific world to know or anyone else to know, because they wanted to show that it was wrong. And so that they wouldn't have that science on their side. And for many years we had the stuff with psychology too, right? Saying that it was a mental illness. I think they changed that in the 70s. I'm not sure exactly what date that was. I need to look it up. But you know what I'm saying. And those things have hurt us. And now all I see is the thing that I never wanted to do. I never wanted to be gay. I never wanted to come out. I don't want to come out on TV. I didn't want to tell my mother any of these things, okay? But the one thing that I've noticed that has been helping, in the United States at least, is little by little coming out to friends and family is what is helping those people to stand up for us. When we're just such a small minority, it's hard for us to just stand up for ourselves. We need the majority to help the minority, and that's how it's always been in any kind of rights kind of cases, any type of civil rights at all. So thanks again. That's the beginning of my coming out story. Well, we would like to thank our wonderful guest, Heather Turman, for coming out with Michelle March. And I have a really cool thing that my straight white male friend said to me. He said, "Michelle, why don't you end this show with like a little segment that says like, let's be real." And I was like, what are you talking about? Perfect. I love it. Let's be real. So let's be real right now, okay? When kids in school call each other like, hey, not each other really, but saying like, oh, that's so gay. Those shoes, those are so gay. That pencil, it's so gay. That shirt, it's so gay. Well, you know what? I just want to tell you right now, if that shirt were gay, it'd be $2,000, okay? So don't play with me. That's the truth, okay? Let's be real. Thanks so much for watching Coming Out with Michelle March. We love you, and we'll see you next time. If you have any questions, we have a ton of resources for you as a family or as a teenager or any person that needs a little bit of extra help. Thank you so much.
With all the It Gets Better videos that have been made,
we wanted to speak out about the forgotten victims.
People who hate gays.
For you fucking homophobes,
it doesn't get better.
Girl, it does not get better.
It doesn't get better. For example,
gay marriage.
A majority of Americans and even half of young Republicans
now support the fight to legalize love.
So you trying to cock block Adam and Steve's?
Big fat gay wedding is getting big time bitch slapped.
Hello?
Gays in the military.
It doesn't get better.
So you were cool if gay soldiers died for your freedom?
As long as they didn't get their freedom.
Love the flag but hate the fags?
Don't ask me not to tell you.
You a homo hating hypocrite that's
full of shit.
Girl, fatigues never look so fabulous.
Don't you just hate it?
Gay adoption.
It doesn't get better.
So you would rather a kid be an orphan?
And have 2 daddies.
Sorry, bitches.
More and more gay couples are adopting kids.
It's abandoned by straight people.
Make way for the gabies.
You get a gaby. You get a gaby.
Pray the gay away? It doesn't get better.
No matter how much you preach to kids, the way they were born is a sin.
Thousands of schools have gay-straight alliances.
Bitch, you ain't gonna win.
Boys is prom queen. Stop the gayness.
Man, I hate the gays. Cry, cry, cry.
Shut the fuck up.
Wah, wah.